Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the call. I wanted to formally welcome you to what could be potentially the most amazing turning point of your life tonight if you actually take the time to listen and absorb this information and really, see how it could apply to your life. So first of all, I wanted to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amy Coppola. I've been a Beachbody coach for a little over 3 years. And I'm going to give you a little bit of background about how I became a coach and what that's done for me, how I incorporated that into my life. And then after that, I'll go ahead and give you some more of the logistics of coaching, answer some of the questions about who we are, what we do, how we earn, those type things, and where do you fit that into your schedule, right? So like I said, I enrolled as a coach a little over 3 years ago. And I had some mutual friends that had started doing some things on Facebook, and we had children about the same time. My children are now 6 and 9 years old, Angeline and Sebastian. And at that time, I was watching my friends, and I'd always been athletic, but I'd gained some weight from pregnancy, and hadn't quite been able to take it off. And I had kind of just accepted that, frumpy and lumpy and mumpy, those type of umpy adjectives were the way that moms became. Like, okay, I'm a mom. This is how I'm going to be now for the rest of my life. And I'd kind of gotten okay and comfortable with that. And then until I saw my friend on Facebook, and I'm thinking about working out all the time. I get to the gym here and there, but I really wasn't getting to the gym as often as I wanted to, or as often as I knew that I needed to. And a friend of mine named Becky was on Facebook, and I kept seeing her body transform. And, like I said, we had kids about the same age, about the same time. And she was just getting leaner and leaner, and she was looking great. And I could tell from her posts just the amount of energy she had, and just, the way she was really feeling great about herself, feeling great about, chasing after her kids in the playground, and, just the direction her life was going. And here I was drinking coffee and eating a couple goldfish left over for breakfast from the kids' plates. And, I kept comparing the two of us, and I kept thinking, what is she doing? And finally, I remember one day she asked, I'm going to host a challenge, a fitness challenge for any moms out there who want help losing that last baby weight. And I immediately responded, and I said, well, I'd love to do what you're doing. What are you doing, by the way? You look amazing. And, I've been watching you, and you're, incredible. And she says, oh, I've been doing P90X. It's a program by a company named Beachbody. And of course, I'd heard of P90X from the infomercials. And as soon as she said that, I was like, whatever. It's that infomercial thing. Yeah. And I kind of rolled my eyes, like maybe some of you have. And I thought that, yeah, that'll work for her, but that's not going to work for me. I had plenty of excuses. I can't work out in my house. My kids are running around everywhere. I'm not going to stick to it. I'm going to get bored. I don't have the time. All of these different excuses came right to mind real quick, right? And she talked to me about it, and I kind of said, no, that's okay. I'll keep doing my thing, and you keep doing yours. And months passed, and I kept staying the same body shape, and, just feeling run down, and like I wasn't getting anywhere, and that was discouraging, and I was frustrated. And, she just continued improving, month after month. So finally, I reached out to her again, and I actually tried our nutritional drink from her at that time. Our nutritional drink is called Shakeology. And I tried that, and I loved it. It was absolutely amazing. And at the same time, though, I was going through quite a bit of financial stress. I was an accounting manager for 13 years, and I had a great career. And right when I was coming back from maternity leave, I was actually laid off from my job that I had been in for a very long time. And so that was, a big shift for us. And at the same time, too, it was kind of when everything was going haywire in the market, and, people were losing their jobs left and right, and companies closing. So there was a lot of other financial turbulence going on at that point, as well as in my own relationship with my husband of 10 years. That was really not going to a good place. So that was really on the rocks. We were basically at the point of bankruptcy, because that's what our attorney had advised us to do in order to try and save our home. So I was juggling all these things, and, just had so much on my plate. And I said, oh, you know what? I don't want to pay the money right now. I don't really even have the money to do this right now. This is just going to have to wait. And I put it off a little while longer until I finally saved up some money. And it was right before my birthday. It was in July of 2013 that I went ahead and ordered a challenge pack, and I enrolled as a coach. And I thought, let me give this a try for 1 month. If in this month I can't, get a couple of friends to do this challenge with me, and whereby earn the money back to go ahead and cover my Shakeology moving forward, then I'll just cancel. I went and dug through all the rules and made sure there was no, problem with canceling or anything like that, which there's not. You can cancel at any time. But I said, I'm going to try that. I'm going to put myself out there and, try this. And as I did the program, the fitness program, I just started regaining such confidence and such pride with something that I was doing, because I was actually completing something. And not only that, but some of my friends did join me, and they started doing this program alongside me. And I say alongside me, it's not in person. This is all done, in the privacy of your own home. But we like to form these groups that maybe you've been a participant of before, called challenge groups, where online, we check in each day. We help keep each other motivated and accountable to what we set out to start doing in the first place. And so with this program, I just started seeing these changes, and I was finally feeling good about myself, and everything was just going really well. And that month I got 3 friends to do that, challenge with me, and that did cover the cost of my Shakeology for the following month. So the next month rolled around, and I said, hey, that wasn't too hard. And, this was a lot of fun. I'm going to try it again. Let's see what happens this month. And during that second month, I kind of realized, I got to know a little bit more about coaching, and I learned the ins and outs. I started looking through the compensation plan, and above all else at that point, I learned about something called a Success Club trip. So each year they have, it's an incentive trip, and you can earn this trip for free. And that particular year, it changes each year, but that particular year it was to go to Disney World. And it was like the full Disney World package that you stayed in the yacht club. So it's one of the, really nice Disney resort hotels. And they gave you park tickets. And I mean, it was just the full-blown Disney experience. And my kids, again, were at that point 3 and 6 years old, and they hadn't gone that year to Disney. Like I mentioned earlier, we had all this, really tough things going on with inside our home, and with inside our marriage and relationship, and financial struggle, to the point that I, a lot of times didn't know where grocery money was coming from, or I would strategically overdraw my bank account all the way down to $599 just, to try and hold over until the next, time that a pay period came in. So it was not an easy time for me. It was not that I was sitting around bored and had nothing else to do, but I knew that this was something that was positive. And when I heard about the trip to Disney, I thought, geez, if, no matter what happens, if I could earn that trip to take my kids to Disney in the spring, it's just going to be kind of that light at the end of the tunnel, where whatever comes, the next 6 months, I can work towards that and really just have that as my happy place. I can take my kids, really enjoy that, and feel good about, being at least able to provide that for them. So I kind of stuck my blinders on, stuck my head down, and got to work doing what I needed to do in order to earn that trip. And it was basically just enrolling 3 new coaches or clients through my coaching center each month for the remainder of the year, and effectively also building my own team. So that's really how I started getting into coaching, was just working towards that trip and just enjoying the interaction between the friends who were joining me and the family that was joining me on doing these challenges with me. So the good news is, happy news is, that I did earn that trip, and I actually got to get those little Disney gift cards from the Disney store, and I stuck it under the Christmas tree that year. Again, not a whole lot of money for Christmas gifts or anything that year, but it was amazing being able to just put that little, Disney gift card under there. And I told the kids that Santa brought them a trip to Disney World that we got to take in the spring. So that was, a huge highlight for me. And at that point, I really started feeling great again about coaching. And I mean, I always did. But this was something that I knew was actually fulfilling me, being able to help other people, being able to just see their own transformations and being able to see their health improve. And this was something that just, again, aside from the money, it fulfilled me on such a level that an accounting in a cubicle never happened, never did. So at that point, fast forward a little bit, I wound up going through a divorce, through a bankruptcy. And so I was, creating this Beachbody business, but it was really just a hobby to me. Again, a feel good thing that was bringing in a little bit of extra money. I really had no idea that it had, a full-time potential. But as my life evolved and, kind of restructured around, a single mom status, I had gone back to school. I was working with an attorney doing her books, who's now part of our team, and she's an amazing coach with us as well. But I was doing that. I had gone back to school. I was working with the attorney. I was, trying to swing the 9-to-5 thing and pick up my kids at 5:30 at night and, run home, do homework and do all these things and just get into bed to start it all over again tomorrow and barely make ends meet and just, wonder, like, is this really it? Like, this is going to be it for the rest of my life. But once I went to that Disney trip, I had the time to sit down and connect with one of our upline coaches, and he really explained the comp plan to me. And I realized that just doing what I was already doing, helping people, each month consistently, that over time, I was going to be able to really, with intention, create a stay-at-home, work from home job that could potentially pay me way more than I was ever earning, with my accounting position. And working 9-to-5 and doing the commute back and forth downtown and doing something that wasn't really even fulfilling me in the first place. So at that point, I really set my mind to it. And I said, you know what, that's the life I want. And I didn't grow up thinking that I was going to be doing all these things and putting my kids in aftercare. I grew up, knowing that I wanted to be a present mom. And I wanted to not just be tied to a particular budget every month. I'm a hard worker. I knew that if I worked hard, I should be rewarded for the time that I was putting in and the effort that I was putting in. And so with that, I just went, really for this full-time goal. And by September of that year, just a little over a year after I started coaching, I was able to leave my job and become a full-time Beachbody coach. And since that day, it has continued to grow and grow, and amazing, things that have developed out of it, including, growing my own team and really being able to connect with other leaders who have just grown their businesses of their own underneath, me. And we have such an amazing team that really feels a lot like family. And we get to travel, we get to, do all these things together and support each other and really push each other in a positive direction. And all, again, while helping other people. And that's just really something that is amazing to me. So that's a little bit about my story. It's continued to grow fabulously from there. So I wanted to go over a little bit of the, logistics like I promised earlier. So who are we? Beachbody coaches, sometimes there's a perception. I've heard one person say, the first time I heard it, I thought I had to be a coach and be out on the beach. So that's one funny perception, and no, that's not true. Some people also think that you need to be a fitness expert. You have to be a personal trainer or nutritionist. You can be a personal trainer or nutritionist, but that is not necessary to be a Beachbody coach. Basically what we do as coaches is support people who order the Beachbody programs. So Beachbody, our corporate office, creates these programs and nutritional guidelines and the DVDs that they do the exercises in their own home. And what we do is basically check in with them, make sure that they're doing okay, make sure that they have started their programs, that they've actually, opened the box and put it in. And we basically supply them with a big cheering section for them to commit to their goals and really see the program through in order to effectively achieve their goals. And that's how the network of coaches was actually created in the beginning. Really briefly, I'll give you that background. P90X was doing great on its own, and a few other of the very early on programs that Beachbody created as a retail product just through infomercials. And what they were noticing was that throughout the P90X sales, the people who were completing the program, phenomenal results, right? You've seen all the infomercials. You see like what amazing things occur when somebody actually goes through the entire program. So the challenge being that a lot of people weren't completing the entire program. So they were, doing great and then fell off the wagon at some point. And really there was nobody there checking in on them saying, hey, how's it going in month 2? Oh, you stopped? Okay, well, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's play again tomorrow. And, how can I help you? How can I support you? And so that's when they really had the idea of introducing the coaching network. And so really, essentially, that's what we do. And like I mentioned earlier, we can create groups online. You can work with people one-on-one. It's really entirely up to you, being that this is your coaching business. But we do give you lots of different ideas on how to go about supporting people once you become a coach. So who can it be? It can be anybody, male, female, 60 years old. You have to be over 18, so 18 years old. You can be a fitness professional. You don't need to be a fitness professional, but on our team we have attorneys, we have teachers, we have accountants, ex-accountants. We've got a little bit of everything that you can imagine. So there's no real prerequisite as who can do it. As long as you care about helping other people, that's really the prerequisite. If you're coming in and you really don't care about people, and there's some people who are out there that are like that, then I will tell you, you can go ahead and tune out, because this isn't for you. This is a position that you really need to care about helping other people. Other than that, as long as you're using the product yourself and you can relate to people, not that you're a size 2 or that you're any particular shape or size, but that you're on your own fitness journey and you're using Shakeology and you can feel the differences that it's created in yourself internally. You have better digestion, your hair is growing stronger, you have more energy sustained throughout the day. All these different types of things that, with you being a proof that the product works because you're experiencing it yourself, you're able to give people that, vote of confidence. A lot of times people say, the very first thing they ask me is when I tell them what I do, oh, P90X, right, does that really work? Because pretty much everybody's heard about it, right? So that's one of the really great things, is we have all this multi-million-dollar marketing that the corporate provides for us. And so we have great brand recognition, but people always really want to know about you. Oh, have you done that? Does that really work? Or are you doing that? Does that really work? So again, it can be anybody, so long as you're willing to help some, other people and have that capacity in your heart and in your soul to really help other people with their goals. So what do we do? I've already mentioned that. We help support people throughout the programs. You don't have to know the answers to everything once you become a coach. When you log into your online office, there's product information, there's frequently asked questions, there's all the information that you're going to need. In addition to, you're joining a team that has a huge amount of support. So whenever you have a question that maybe you need answered real quick or you haven't learned yet on your own, you can always ask anybody from the team in our Facebook team page, and we're happy to help you out there as well. So when do you do all this, right? You're like, I'm too busy. I was too busy. Believe me, I understand that thought. When do you do this? This is one of the actually great things. You do this whenever you want. The company is yours, the business is yours, so this is entirely up to you. However much time you want to put into it is your choice. Again, obviously, the more time you put into it, the sooner you're going to, have the results of a strengthening business. But if you want to put half an hour each day, that's fine. If you want to just check in 10 minutes each morning with your own little group, that's fine. If you want to devote an hour per day and say, no, I'd really like to pursue this as a business and I'm going to carve out an extra hour each night, that's fine. And I really didn't have that much time in the beginning. Again, I was going through the whole single mom reconstructive phase of my life, and I had gone back to school, I was working, I was doing all these different things. And what I basically did was I wanted it so bad that I found a way. And that's really the difference, where people say, how did you do it? I really wanted it. And when you want something, when you put your mind to it, when you resolve to do something, instead of just saying, oh, that looks nice, or someday I'd like to do that, when you resolve to do something, that really makes a difference in the amount of time that you're going to create for yourself to accomplish that goal, right? So to be a little bit more specific, in the morning, I would wake up, do my workout very first thing in the morning. Then I would check in very quickly on Facebook or in my online office to see what was going on that day. I'd pack up the kids' lunches, take them to school. On the way to the office downtown, I could listen to either recorded team calls, or I could listen to every week, corporate puts out a national wake-up call each Monday, and that's recorded, so you can listen to that any time of the week. Or I was also listening to a lot of personal development. And that is something that luckily is really, really encouraged once you become a coach. Well, anytime really, but especially once you become a coach, we really encourage you to work on personal development, because after all, you're going to coach people. In the beginning, it's just, a couple people, but as you grow, you want to make sure that you're growing too. So on the way, again, to work, I would do that. On my lunch breaks, I would go ahead and take that half an hour or 45 minutes, whatever I had, and again, check in online, make calls. On the way home, I would schedule calls with anybody who wanted more information. And again, once the kids were in bed at night, I'd have another half hour here and there. So it's not something that is going to take a whole lot of time, and that is that I was going for, very aggressively. But if you just want to carve out half an hour per day, that works. Entirely up to you. So where do you do it from? I always like to do this call from right here, because where did I create this business from that has just blessed me beyond measures? Right here from my kitchen counter. Also from the soccer field, also from lots of different places, but anywhere basically that you have internet connection, anywhere that you're meeting people, anywhere that you can talk on the phone, that's where you can work from. And that's one of the most amazing things. So I've, enjoyed traveling a lot and have been able to do a lot more of that with the freedom and the flexibility that I've gained over the last few years. So I have in this past year worked from Morocco, from Ecuador, from Costa Rica, from Rome for New Year's. I was working in Italy. You can really work from anywhere. So that is a huge benefit to becoming a Team Beachbody coach, is that you can pursue this from wherever you want. It's really fantastic. So why would you want to do this? People ask me that, and I'm like, why wouldn't you want to do this? Some people come, just again, as something for fun, as a hobby to do on the side. And that's fine. Some people do it just for the discount. You get a 25% discount on your products. So it's actually cheaper for you to buy Shakeology as a coach than it is as a client. So there's quite a few people who, really love Shakeology, and they don't have the coaching thing as something that they want to do, but they do recognize that they get a discount for ordering Shakeology as a coach. So you can be a discount coach. That's fine as well. But you also, another reason why, in my opinion, besides the, added income, you also get a sense of, and I know I mentioned it earlier, but the fulfillment that you get is amazing from being able to really help people and see people's lives transform literally right before your eyes. And it's, amazing when they come back and say, thank you for really helping me get going on that program. And you're just like, wow, I was just having fun. Like I did that. Like, I guess I helped you with that, but I was just having fun. But you start realizing the impact that you're having and the ripple effect really that you can have. And, the problems that we have in America as a whole with, self-imposed diseases due to obesity and overweight is just incredible. And so it's really, an overall goal to be able to actually shift, the course of our entire nation until we, expand worldwide, and then we'll take over the whole world. But, to really shift, the outcome of this generation and the generation to come, and really teach people this lifestyle of healthy eating and clean eating and just daily exercise, 30 minutes a day. You don't have to be a gym rat. You don't have to. If you are, that's fine. That's fun. But it's really important, just to incorporate this lifestyle. And you're going to feel so much better, and people feel so much better, and they'll come and thank you for having, helping them to do that. And some people have a great income already, and they say, well, why should I do this? Well, some of the attorneys on our team, they say, well, you know what, this is my plan B. I'm not going to have Social Security by the time I get to retirement. So you know what, this is creating an extra income for me. I'm sticking it right into my retirement. And it becomes their plan B. Or how about if you're in a career that you like, and that's been your whole life, and you get laid off like I did. Yes, you can go get another job, but sometimes, maybe it's time to choose another route. Or just to have that flexibility of schedule. I can't ever imagine going back to, traditional 9 to 5 at this point. I've so enjoyed being able to go on field trips with my kids, pick them up when they, call sick from school, seeing all their school plays, just being able to do all these things, not to mention the freedom to just get up and go. If I want to go on a spontaneous week-long trip with the kids in the summer, I can do that. And that freedom to me is just, priceless. So how do you earn? Let's keep moving along. I'll get stuck on how wonderful it is for 5 minutes. How do you earn is basically you're set up with a website as soon as you enroll as a coach. It's about an hour after you're enrolled that we can see your website go live, and corporate sets that up for us. It's really cool. You don't have to do anything. And once you have that website, you share that website with other people, and you basically invite them to, do whatever program you're doing. So if you're doing the 21-day fix, I'm sure your friends are already asking you, hey, what are you doing with these containers? And how are you losing weight? You look great. You can invite them, hey, so I'm doing it again. I'm going for another round. Do it with me this time, yeah? And this, yeah, actually, I've been wanting to try it. So they order through your website, and we basically earn a commission off of any purchases, anything that's done through our website. Those are paid by direct deposit every Thursday morning. Our weeks end on Wednesday night. So every Thursday morning, you can expect that direct deposit in your bank account, which is really fantastic. You don't get paid with, Mickey Mouse money or anything like that. It's actually direct deposit right into your account. So that's fantastic. Once you start creating your own team as well, you also have the opportunity to earn a team cycle bonus. And what that is basically a percentage of bonus for what your team is enrolling. So the more that your team is enrolling, the more that your team is engaging, the higher your income will be from your team cycle bonus. So how to enroll? I mentioned earlier that I enrolled with a challenge pack, and that's definitely what I recommend. What a challenge pack is any one of our programs or a subscription to Beachbody on demand, along with a 30-day supply of Shakeology. Now, why that's a great idea is because they actually give a discount for ordering the two together, and that's called a challenge pack. And besides the discount, that really is the best way for you to move the quickest, way possible towards your health goals, because you're getting not only the exercise portion and the nutrition portion from the program, but you're also cutting out one of those meals. You've got a quick, convenient, easy meal that's packed with superfoods and, just absolute awesomeness that you're going to be able to have very conveniently. So with that challenge pack, you're also waived the $40 coach enrollment fee. So typically $40, that's it to enroll. And you, like I said, you enroll online. And once you're enrolled, you have your website comes up. We'll walk you through your online office. There's a training academy in there that's available for you 24/7. So if you're a night owl or an early bird or all dayer, you can log in there at any time and go through that training. It's really easy, really effective. And then every month thereafter, you're only billed $15.95. I used to say $15.95 and people thought it was $1,595. No, it's $15.95. That's it. And what does that cover? We don't have to take payments. We don't have to do inventory. We don't have to ship. Corporate does all of that for us, and that's a huge benefit. I don't have an extra room in my house full of Shakeology. Corporate takes care of everything for us. They do our website maintenance. They create our website for us once we enroll. And again, they take payments. They do customer service. Everything is done for us. So, and that's only with $15.95 per month. That's it. Really lucky. And it's actually so low that I think people underestimate the potential of what they can do with this business, but you're smarter than that, so that's not going to be you, right? And so finally, I just want to wrap up with saying why our team. Lots of Beachbody coaches out there by now, and that's great because we need a lot of people out there really helping to support this lifestyle again throughout our nation and eventually throughout the entire continent and world. But why our team? Our team is so special to me, clearly. We are about 3 years old, and our team is called Team Titanium, and whoever invited you to the call, if it wasn't me, is part of our team. And our team has achieved an elite rank for the last 2 years, which is it's basically the top 1% of the coaches of the company who can actually achieve that rank. And our team has done it 2 years in a row now. So what that means is we have a team that's really working well together. We're supporting each other. We're really, interested in helping each other grow and to really reach our own, maximum potentials with whatever it is we want to do with the business. Again, if it's a hobby for you, then we support that, we respect that, and we will help you create that hobby lifestyle for yourself with the coaching opportunity, as well as if it's something that you want to come after full time. Absolutely, we're here to do that with you as well. And we've had lots of coaches who've done that already, so this is something that we're very familiar with, and we are going to help train you and support you throughout your entire business starting process and building process. So this has been, I'm sure you've got it by now, but something that has changed my life entirely. And I really look forward to being able to share that with you with this opportunity, and to really just, welcome you to the team and to get to know you better as we kind of keep going down this adventure together. But I hope I answered all your questions tonight. If you have any additional questions, feel free to message me or message anybody whoever invited you to the call. And thank you all for being on tonight. I look forward to getting to know you all. Good night.